Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Redneckinize, the home of the do-it-yourself trucker. When everything goes wrong, you gotta Redneckinize. Hey, what's going on, truckers? Thanks for watching. So if you don't mind real quick, just give us a like on the video if you enjoy it, and then go down there and make sure you subscribe to make sure you get notified for more videos. We're really having a great time over here getting information out to everybody. You know, there's this big protest going on down there in DC. Well, a lot of people don't think it's that big, but it's pretty good because, I mean, when you're out there at the White House, they've done it before where they've gone down there, but because the quarantine's kind of still going on with the pandemic, that the police departments down there have allowed the trucks kind of to park on the side of the road, and every now and then they just start honking horns, and it gets everybody's attention. In fact, there's a video where Trump is, reading a speech about the coronavirus vaccines and talking about how he's getting things out, and the horns start honking. And you can't really hear it that well in the video. We put it up on our Facebook page. You can't really hear the horns honking, but the President Trump actually stops and he points it out and he tells the reporters. The only thing I wish he would have said there was that the reporters need to stop asking him stupid questions and go out there and talk to the drivers and find out what's really going on with them. That would have been really cool, because I think that if somebody out there, I don't know if there's anybody out there protesting that, hates Trump's guts, but I'm sure that MSNBC and CNN can find them, and they'll definitely put that all over the place, and that'd be pretty cool. I mean, just to get truckers on TV, that'd be awesome. So, but they go out there and they need to, that's the thing. I think America needs to know what's going on out in the world other than what the news thinks that they ought to get. We all may not agree on what's going on in the industry in regards to the protest, but I do think that there are issues, and people need to know that the kind of issues we go through are just kind of like an industry-wide deal going on, where we have rules that we have to follow in the interest of safety, but the shippers that pay us rates or the brokers that book the loads, they really don't care about those rules. They don't care about hours of service and finding a place to park. That's not their problem. So and we deal with that, and I think people need to understand that there are people out there that we deal with that don't care about the safety of getting up and down the highway. So I think that's a big deal. They always say they do, but they don't. We know they don't. I mean, maybe they shouldn't care, or they don't need to care, because we care. We do care. But, when you get to a shipper and you tell them, I've got 2 hours left on my clock, so you kind of need to get me unloaded here in the next 30 minutes so that I can leave and go find a place to park. They don't care. They're going to unload you when they get the time to unload you. And if you've only got 30 or 20 minutes left on your clock to leave and go find a place to park, that's not their problem. That's the truth of it. We know that it's happened. It always happens. I mean, there are great customers out there that, they see you, they know you're coming. Hey, yeah, you were supposed to be here at 2:30. You're here at 2:15, back in that door, get you unloaded. I mean, that happens. That's great. But, that's about what, 50-60% of the time, if that. So, but anyway, the update has been with the protest that FMCSA came out and said they're really not going to look into any kind of fixing or gouging in the rates, because they say they're not capable or authorized to govern the rates or regulate the rates or anything like that. And really, what it boils down to is there's been a lot of requests made by other law firms and stuff, saying that the brokers are not giving the rate confirmation paperwork, or their freight charges. They're supposed to be able to, the FMCSA says they're supposed to be able to pass that on, and they're not, because some kind of legal little jargon that they're doing with, when the driver signs the rate confirmation, then they're actually foregoing that right. Something like that. I didn't really understand what they were trying to explain when I was reading it, but it seems like that the FMCSA is like, so, we really don't find any kind of wrongdoing with that, so there you go. What are you going to do with that? So the only other thing you can do is you can ask for any kind of special investigation about, breaking antitrust laws. And I'll be honest with you, I looked at the antitrust laws. In fact, if you go into like in legal terms, it's kind of like a precedence. So we know antitrust means that they don't want big companies taking over industries. They don't want one company coming in and taking over an industry. Well, you know what the funny thing was is that in the interest of like, I think it was Walmart, where people were suing because they were taken over, and all the other discount stores like them were going out of business. And one judge came down and said, well, the antitrust was meant so that the big companies, the big corporations taking over the industries wouldn't be able to gouge the prices. So if a big company comes and takes over, but they don't raise the prices all that much, well, then there's no harm, no foul. In fact, Walmart, I believe it was Walmart. I can't remember for sure, but it was like they made the case that because they're so big, they were able to offer their services at a lower price. And then that way they were, able to provide the consumer with a better deal. And the judge is like, yeah. As long as the big companies are not, gouging the customers. Now, and then hear me out on this, because see, the truck driver is not the customer. See, they're the customer. The only way the antitrust law really would take effect, if you had any kind of, lawyer kind of interpret it, is if the trucking company was actually gouging the prices and monopolizing the industry, because we're the ones that are getting paid, and so really it's us, the ones that need to be setting the rates. And that, of course, I've said that before, the driver should be setting the rates, the carrier should be setting the rates. There shouldn't be any of this, we'll take what you got. We shouldn't be doing that. But so there might be some people looking into the antitrust things. I know that there's law firms that are trying to help us out, that are looking into that and making a case for that. The other thing is like specifically like, price gouging or price fixing, where they're, taking more than what they say that they're only taking 15%, but they're not really they're taking way more than that, and they're breaking the law because they're lying, like truth in contracting or whatever. And the Department of Justice says that if that's true, we'll definitely look into that, but we need some proof. So I'm here to tell you right now, if you're a truck driver out there and you've got like proof, like consistent proof that a broker is actually breaking the law by lying in their contracts, or breaking their contracts and then not paying up when they're not doing that, so what it boils down to is that the Department of Justice will help us out. They need some type of proof to have probable cause to get a warrant to go search even further. And that's what they're saying. So if there is laws being broken out there, people speak up. I heard some people talk about how brokers, there's people that working at these brokerage firms, booking the freight, and they're talking to the drivers saying, yeah, we're gouging them. We're taking everything, and we're keeping 50% of the freight, and all that. I mean, if that's true, let's give them a holler and provide that proof, somehow, do the right thing, because that's what it's all about. It's providing a good service at a good rate, and being honest about it, being truthful. So that's that to me. That was the biggest update I saw when it comes to the protest and whether or not to get the government involved. If there is anything going on, they need actual evidential proof in order to investigate any further. And of course, the FMCSA said no, they're not looking into it. They don't see anything. So yeah, we're trying to keep everybody updated on what's going on. It's just a bunch of truckers out here trying to keep everybody posted. So just bear with us on that. Before we go, we want to give a shout out to the Trucker Tools app. Yeah, this is an all-in-one app that allows drivers out there to, navigate their routes, find truck stops, fuel stops, maybe even find some parking out there. They've teamed up with an app service about finding parking. You can find loads, book loads, track loads, everything on this app in one location. You can find mechanic shops and even Walmarts. They have a special button just for Walmarts. And I think that's pretty cool for, just a truck driver getting out there trying to find a place where they can get some shopping done. It's just a good networking app where you can go in there and pretty much do everything in one location right there. You can set everything up and build relationships all right there. And we appreciate Trucker Tools for stepping up and helping out Redneck and Eyes. We hope to continue the relationship on. It's been real positive for us, and we're really looking forward to it. So check them out at truckertools.com and download their app and leave them a message. Let them know you appreciate everything that they're doing for Redneck and Eyes, and we surely do appreciate them. So everybody go check out our website, redneckandeyes.com, and we've got videos on there, and we've got a store where we got shirts and hats and stickers and all kind of cool stuff out there. So check that out, redneckandeyes.com. I want everybody to stay safe and successful out there. Keep it between the ditches, and we'll see you out there on the road.